Hey everyone, my name is Joseph Gardner and I'm one of your neighbors. My family and I live on Lexington and my intent with this video is to hopefully efficiently highlight our neighborhood irrigation system and how it works, while also noting some of the challenges that it has and present a couple solutions for us to consider. So highlighted here in light purple is our neighborhood. There are 81 homes in our neighborhood that can receive irrigation, and there are four homes, two on Linda and two on Lexington, that are within Circle G but do not have flood irrigation infrastructure in them. So this is a little involved, but I'll try to hopefully help you understand um, how our system operates and how we receive water. So SRP delivers water from their system, canals, and underground infrastructure to our neighborhood system. SRP releases that water to us through pieces of infrastructure called wheel stand boxes, and those are highlighted or shown on this map on these red circles. Water travels through the stand boxes all the way north, where the water deliveries start in our neighborhood. It starts on the west end of Lexington, and it begins to move its way east as homes on, in this case, Lexington Avenue receive their order. It then circles itself around the cul-de-sac, after which it then jumps over to Park, where the north side of Park begins receiving water, and the homes alternate with the south side of Lexington. So it'll go Park, south side of Lexington, Park, south side of Lexington, etc., etc. So again, quick recap on that. Water starts on the north end of the neighborhood, flows out of SRP system into ours, starts on the west end of all the streets, moves its way east, covering the north homes, and then jumps to the next street south, gets the north end of that street, and alternates with the south end of the previous street. Um, the wheel stand boxes have two gates, and the function of those gates is to raise and lower, directing the water to the streets that are supposed to be receiving it at the times that they're supposed to be receiving it. So those two gates open and close, allowing water to move north and allowing water to move south. Neighbors in our neighborhood have the responsibility to set those gates for each street's delivery. So that means the gates are set by those living on Lexington for the whole neighborhood system. And then when Lexington is done receiving water, a homeowner on Park then goes to the wheel stand box, closes the north gate, and opens the west gate to allow water to start flowing to the appropriate street. In that example, it was Park. So there are 8 of these stand boxes in our neighborhood, and like I said, each box has 2 gates for a total of 16. And it is our responsibility as a neighborhood to maintain these gates and stand boxes, as well as operating them. These 2 pictures show the outside of the gate, or the stand box, I apologize, as well as the inside of it. And you can see the 2 gates that can open and close in the 2 directions, north and west. The other piece of infrastructure that's in our neighborhood or rather our homes or properties, are the valves. And those are the red, perhaps grayish circles that we raise and open to receive water for our property. Those are opened by us as individuals on our properties, and we as individuals on our individual properties are responsible for their maintenance and upkeep. So summary on this is the gates open and close to allow water to move north or west. We as neighbors in this neighborhood have the responsibility to not only operate the gates, set them up for their appropriate streets, but also to maintain them. And the valves are the responsibilities of us as individual homeowners on our own properties. So the big challenges we have with our system is that it's really old, and water has corroded the metal of these gates such that over the years they have become in such poor condition that they no longer function, meaning they don't raise and lower. They're stripped or broken, or they're corroded to the point where they no longer operate, or they're missing entirely because they've corroded so much. These gates, I should note, have been lovingly cared for and looked over over the years of our neighborhood by a handful of homeowners who took it upon themselves to make repairs and make modifications on all of our behalves and for all of our benefits. Additionally, kind of at the home level, your home may have a leaking valve or leaking seals that don't seal properly. So I guess I would summarize the challenges and issues that we have is that over time, as time has gone on, our system has continued to degrade despite the efforts to upkeep it to the point where it is essentially beyond repair. Gates are broken or missing, they don't function, the valves may need to be replaced or upkept, and quite frankly, the homeowners that have been doing all of this on our behalves have either moved away or even unfortunately passed away or are no longer able to kind of lead the charge silently on our behalf for all of us to benefit by. So the challenge that this has for us, or the issue that it creates, is that we are either experiencing flooding in our system or on our homes. We aren't able to direct water or stop it effectively, resulting in stoppages by SRP because we can't control that flooding, or we're having to order longer durations of water to get the same coverage that we used to get when the system was working properly. So the recommendation that I have is to get some quotes for a total system replacement, and then work with you all to identify opportunities to fundraise and execute contracts with firms that can begin doing the replacement for the system. So I have obtained 2 quotes to replace all 16 gates and the labor to install them. The gates are specially machined pieces of equipment that are several feet high, and they're installed with skilled labor in a confined space with precision to ensure that they're sitting and seated in the right ways and directing water and functioning in the ways that they should. The 2 quotes that I got are from one firm, Premier Irrigation. Their quote was for, I'm rounding here, you can see the numbers there, but for about $48,000. And a second quote from Arizona Irrigation Professionals for about $35,000. If we socialize those costs and got 100% participation from all of you who benefit from this infrastructure and this opportunity, that cost per home using Arizona Irrigation Professionals quote would be about $440 per home. I put a range here. That 860 denotes about a 50% participation rate among us as neighbors. So if 41 homes participated or provided funding, that would be the cost per household. I recognize not every home in our neighborhood receives irrigation, but I think there's a couple important factors to consider. One, as we've all experienced, The town of Gilbert is raising water rates for a variety of reasons, and we're all experiencing that in various levels. So the opportunity to take flood irrigation is a big benefit because it's a pretty cost-effective way to receive bulk orders of water, and it allows us to diversify the sources that we're receiving our waters from for our properties. So even if you don't currently take water, you may want to in the future and have the infrastructure already in place to do so. Or there's a scenario where you may no longer live in your home and you move away. And a selling point for your property is that it's one of the very few and unique properties in the Phoenix metropolitan area that can take flood irrigation. So that's potentially a big selling point. So my number is listed there. My wife's number is also listed there, as well as another of our neighbors, Danny's number is listed there. If you want to reach out to ask questions or to voice some of your concerns or experiences, you should be either receiving a letter from SRP kind of confirming the dilapidated state of our neighborhood system, or you'll get a friendly knock on your door from one of the three of us to try to solicit your help in socializing these costs across all of our homes for all of us to reap the benefits of a repaired or rather restored neighborhood irrigation system. So thanks again for taking the time to listen to me. Hopefully this was helpful and efficient. And like I said, reach out as you have questions. Thank you.